Hi, guys. Okay, today I want to talk about the journey of becoming the next version of yourself. You have to actually become the person who can do the actions in order to have the things that you want to have. The main focus: who are you being? Who are you becoming? What are the actions that you're willing to take? This is you today, being a victim, blaming everybody else for your problems, unwilling to take responsibility, right? You're always wanting more. Maybe you want your reality to be different. You want more money, probably controlled by fear. You're avoiding, right? And then you don't have the things that you want because you're not being who you need to be in order to get the things that you want. There's a journey that you're going to go on to get to this version of yourself. They're more fulfilled. They take responsibility. They take action, right? They're not controlled by fear. They're making more money because they're able to actually do the things they need in order to bring more money into their lives, right? You have more money. Let's talk about the steps in between. This is a scale. You're fully standing as this version of yourself. So in order to get to this next higher level version of yourself, there's a journey you have to go on. The journey consists of a series of steps that you have to take, and also an energetic journey that you have to go on. So here's you. Your life is chaos. Nothing's really working out for you. Here's you over here on the other side of this journey. This is the energetic journey that you're going to go on. The first step looks huge. It feels huge. There's so much resistance usually on this first step when you're going from who you've been to who you want to become, this victim mentality to this like fulfilled, responsible, action taking person. The step looks enormous, right? And it feels enormous and it's scary, right? You're going to feel the fear. The fear is typically what is going to hold you back from taking this first step. Here's the thing, you just have to do it anyway. Is action in the face of fear. This step is going to be anything that scares the crap out of you, anything that triggers you. So it's taking action, whether it's making a post, setting a boundary, anything that's going to be like scary. So here's what happens. You muster up your courage and then you finally climb up here and you take this step and then you're triggered. Like, oh my God, that was terrifying. But guess what happens every time you take a step? It's actually confirming the next version of yourself. And then the next thing it does is it brings up all this energy. And this energy can feel really uncomfortable. But it's part of the process that you just have to process this energy. Once you get to the other side, it becomes like clean. You take the first action, you process through the energy, and it becomes more clear. You just take another action. And it is still scary, and you do still have fear, but you use your courage to push through the fear because you know that on the other side of that is the version of you that is fulfilled, more fulfilled. And then that step, is another vote towards becoming the bigger version of yourself. And you have another reaction of discomfort. Like you process through it. It causes like a nervous system reaction in your body, and you just sit with it. You don't go back to the old version of yourself. You process through it. You keep moving. And then another layer of this chaotic energy gets added as a more clean signal. You usually can't see these following steps until you take the step before it. And this is still a little, maybe a little less scary. It's going to be like you are still going to have some fear, but you use your courage and you push through that fear and you take action anyways and you just fucking do it. And then you confirm another version of yourself. The energy comes up, the trigger comes up, the feeling, the nervous system response that wants to keep you small, that wants to keep you safe, that wants to go back to the familiar. It's uncomfortable, painful even. And you process through it. You sit with it. You breathe. You come back to your center. And then you get another clean layer of energy. You're clarifying all this distortion from this version of yourself. And then you just keep going. And then the next action is here. And then the next action, sorry, my artwork is not the best. And then the next step. And it's just a process. You just keep going, and you just keep going, and you just keep going, and you just keep going. And every time you take an action confirming this new version of yourself, eventually just become this version of yourself doesn't carry any weight anymore, and you just are this person, right? And then in that process, you've seen the fear, you took the courageous action, you had the discomfort, you processed through it, your energy field, your signal is just so much cleaner. And then from this state, from this way of being, you can now take cleaner actions. You can now receive cleaner ideas, inspirations, and you become the person who feels more fulfilled, is responsible. You're proud of yourself. You've moved through some fear. You're courageous, and you are able to take the action that you need to take to create your dream life, to create the life that you know you're capable of. Okay, so this is a process of identity shifting. If anything's unclear or if you have any questions, just let me know. Thanks.